Okay, so we have a bunch of data and we're trying to run a regression so we can find the slope and y-intercept of the regression model. It's interesting if you copy data and then open up an SPSS and paste the data, it only gets it only gets the first column basically, which is not even what you need. If you highlight it, highlight everything except these headers, and then you open up open up a new file, and then I'm doing Control V or Command V on a Mac. Here we have the ID, and if you want to label it, you can. This is the ID, this is the, what was it, test, first test, and this was the, no spaces allowed in SPSS. So let's just call it test 1 and test 2. Okay, if we do that and then just go into the analyze, then we will go to regression, linear. Make sure that you note that our test 2 is our dependent there, and our test 1, so dependent would be the y value or the thing we're trying to predict, and this independent would be the x variable that we're using to predict. And if we just hit OK, we're going to get the output, and right there are the values we need. So this constant is our y-intercept, so 40.886 and 0.5452. Let's try those. 40.886, and over here we're going to try 0.452. All right, you can do a similar thing in TI, your TI or your graphing calculator. You wouldn't need to have this student column, so you could just create two lists and then run a regression. By the way, just to clarify, the way that I knew which variable was x or the independent and which was y or the dependent was the model that we're trying to run here. So here, whatever's on the left side of the equal sign is what we're trying to predict. So this would be our dependent variable. It depends on whatever a student's grade is on the independent variable, which is the first test grade here. If we were to swap these two in the SPSS model, I would have just swapped the way I entered them as dependent and independent.